Shalom, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakha HaKodash, double honors unto the apostles of GMS, Ruel, and salutations and blessings to you, elect, starting with 144,000. Alright, so this lesson is going to go into coin clipping. Alright, coin clipping, which is something we spoke about at camp. The Spirit had us speak about it, and I stumbled upon a website that I'm going to bring out later, dealing with the currency of Canada. All right, the coins, pretty much, right? And how this devil, man, he ruins everything, right? He's the son of perdition, right? Talking about you Edomites. All right, you guys are the son of destruction, son of perdition, right? That's your nature, right? Pursuant to the book of Isaiah 10, his nature is to cut off nations, not a few, right? 10 and 5. So coin clipping, right? Also known as debasement, which we can read about it a little bit on Wikipedia. A debasement of coinage is the practice of lowering the intrinsic value of coins, especially when used in connection with commodity money, such as silver or gold, such as gold or silver coins, which is actual money. All right, that's money. What we're using as a note, right? The fiat currency, the debt note, is currency. That's all it is. All right, it's not money. Money is something of value, of substance, right? Traditionally, money has been always, of course, gold, silver, cattle, slaves, land. That's money. That's money. Okay. What we're using is crap, currency. It's sorcery. This man is using Admiralty law, the law of the high seas. Right? Because he's a pirate, he's a thief, he's a fraud, and he bases his system on that, right? And he uses you people as his debt slaves, right? And he makes money on you, on off you on the hamster wheel. You know, he makes money as soon as you're born. He makes money off you, right, as a debt slave. Anyway, while continuing to circulate it as at face value. Right? A coin is said to be debased if the quantity of gold, silver, copper, or nickel in the coin is reduced. Now, examples of Roman Empire. In Roman currency, the value of the denarius, which the denarius was is Latin for 10. All right? It's Latin for 10, which we can look into it. The denarius was the standard Roman silver coin from its introduction in the Second Punic War, 211 BC, to the reign of Gordian III, 238. Now here it says the word denarius is derived from the Latin deni, containing 10, as its value was originally of 10 asses. The word money descends from it in Italian, dinero, right? In Spanish, actually, is dinero, right? They call it, give me the dinero, right? Its name also survives in the dinar currency. All right. And look at the modern gold dinar is a projected bullion gold coin. So anyway, that's the denarius, which is money. So that's funny. That's interesting. The word money derives from dinero, which is what? It's a silver coin. So that's money. So you can understand, right? So back here, the denarius was gradually decreased over time as the Roman government altered both the size and the silver content of the coin. Originally, the silver used was nearly pure, weighing about 4.5 grams. From time to time, this was reduced. During the Julio-Claudian dynasty, Edomites. Okay, these are Edomites. All right. Caligula, a goddamn degenerate, man. All right. During the Julio-Claudian dynasty, the denarius contained approximately 4 grams of silver, and then was reduced to 3.8 grams under Nero. And the Lord, he hates this, right? Proverbs 11:1, a false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Proverbs 20:23, diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. In the NLT, the Lord Yahweh detests the use of dishonest scales, but he delights in accurate weights. Right, but again, the weight of that coin and the balance of the metals originally in it is off. And that's an abomination. That's fraud, right? You're defrauding people, man. That's what you're doing. And this devil has a nerve to talk to you about fraud, charge you, right? You'll have the Department of Justice after you about fraud. That is hilarious, right? The denarius continued to shrink in size and purity until by the second half of the 3rd century it was only about 2% silver and was replaced by the argentius. So let me go here to what I was talking about, and then I'm going to play a video I found. But this is from SaskatoonCoinClub.ca. Right? The following table shows the changes in size, weight, and material used to manufacture Canadian circulator coins from 1858 to date. And look, for example, the 1 cent, the penny, right? The penny originally in 1858 to 59, it was 95% copper, 4% tin, 1% zinc. And as we go down to 97, it became 98% zinc, 98.4, 1.6% copper. Okay? And then 2000 to 2012, which is when I believe they ended the penny. They took it out of circulation. It was 98% zinc. So what happened to the damn copper? Right? This is the nickel, the 5 cents, 1858 to 1910. It was 92.5% silver. It's like a nickel. So a nickel, that's why your grandpa way back in the day gave you a nickel. Well, gee whiz. You're going to the store. You're happy as a kid, man. A nickel, man. 92.5% silver. Right? As you see, 1920 became 80%, and 1922 99% nickel, right? Then they reverted it back to in 1942 to copper, 88%, and then in 44 it became chrome plated. So they keep chiseling this shit every year, every couple years, and devaluing. And you people are there. Why is it devaluing? Why is it worth less? Why do I have to add more? Because it's not the same material. These things are actually good material, man. Silver, you're talking about silver, bro. God damn, silver, man. I have a bunch of coins. Hold on, I got a bunch of coins right here. I got a bunch of coins. I got nickels, I got quarters, I got dimes. It ain't shit. Back in the day, if you had those, man, oh man. This man's a devil. Look, dime in 1858 to 1919, 92.5% silver. So the nickel and the dime were silver. Then in 20, it became 80%. Then in 67, it became 50%. 68, nickel. And then 2000 to present, steel, which is iron mixed with some alloys and to forge it stronger, right? Steel is the upgrade of iron, so it doesn't rust. Garbage. Right? They had a 20-cent coin. Right, check that out. 1858, 92% silver. They have a quarter, right? 1870 to 1910, 92% silver. You're talking about the nickel, the dime, the quarter. If you had a quarter, man, you know how much you can get with that? If you had a quarter, it weighed more, right? It weighed 5.81 grams, right? The dime weighed 2.32 grams. The nickel weighed 1.16. So it's measured in weight, but of the material, which is silver. But then they started chiseling, right? The quarter, right, in 68. And I mentioned this at camp, 68, 69. What is that time period? Brother should know. right? Though you mount up to the heavens, I will bring thee down to the ground. That was the time of Esau's downfall, 69, 68, 69. They started doing, you know the story, man, right? They went up into the heavens, so-called heavens. They didn't go to the moon, but you know, then Esau's society in America started crumbling. They had the LSD, the different drug experiments. They started to have the revolutionary movements, the women's movements. Everything started to deteriorate. So by the time 70s, 80s came, it was a bunch of degeneracy. Before the 60s, it was Leave It to Beaver, White House picket fence. Esau was living good. Jake is at the bottom. 69, Esau started going down. So a lot of these dates, man, is spiritual. 68, switched to 99% nickel. Right, they had a 50-cent coin as well. $1, right? 80% silver, 20% copper in 1935. Right, in 68, 99% nickel. The $2, the toonie, 96. Outer ring, 99% nickel. Right? And now look at this crap. Outer ring, multiply nickel plated steel. Crap. Goddamn crap, man. And look at this, man. Look at this. For the dollar in 1935, it weighed 23 grams. Then it went down to 7, then 6. Holy yo, this is madness. This man's a devil. Now, I'm going to play this quick video I actually found of this cat, Polivier, alright? He actually brought some information out. This dude, they play around with conservative, liberal, and this, but this guy, he actually talks some stuff. Hold on, let me try to get this video. Hold on, how can I get this? One sec.
Coins have these ridges around the edges.
And by the way, this guy's running for prime minister. And Polivier, if you get up in there, you're going to have to take orders anyway. And you're going to implement the CBDC. All right. I know somebody asked you at a rally or meeting or whatever about specifically the CBDC, and you denied. I'm not going to go along with the WEF, and you're going to go along with it if you become the prime minister. All right. Just needed to say that. Okay. But this guy, again, he brings out some information here.
Well, the answer actually goes back hundreds of years to a time when coins were made of precious metals like gold and silver, and people would attempt to chip, clip, snip, scratch, and scrape the edges gradually off, use the clippings to melt them down and make new counterfeit coins or sell off the precious metals for profit. They could then go out into the market and still use that original, now diminished coin to make purchases. And as you can imagine, this caused mayhem in the monetary and economic system of places like 16th century England. And so what the Royal Mint did is it milled these jagged edges into the coins. They also inscribed on the side of the British pound in Latin the words for ornament and safeguard. That is just...
Again, why Latin? We always bring out the point. This system is based off the Roman system, right? The first beast, right? Before, right? In the book of Revelations, slipping my mind, but this is what we're living in is the revival of the Roman Empire, right?
Is to say to safeguard the edge and therefore the integrity of the coin. Here in Canada, we even have this band around the outside of the loonie, I guess theoretically to protect against the same clipping. The British actually brought in Sir Isaac Newton as the master of the mint to come up with a whole myriad of solutions to prevent this kind of rule breaking. And in fact, it became a very serious offense to mess with British coinage. And Newton was very aggressive in enforcing those rules. Many of that enforcement remains to this day. This is the Canadian Criminal Code, and it has a prohibition, Section 455, entitled Clipping and Uttering Clipped Coin. Every person who impairs, diminishes, or lightens a current gold or silver coin with intent that it should pass for a current gold or silver coin is guilty of an offense and is liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 14 years. 14 years. In other words, they throw the book at you. But as you heard, worry not. You cannot be prosecuted for clipping a Canadian coin under that section because it only deals with gold and silver coins. And, of course, we don't have gold and silver in our coins anymore. This Canadian quarter is 94% steel, 4% copper, 2% nickel, and 0% gold or silver.
Right, and as I brought out, it used to be. Now that's garbage, man. You're literally putting a value on something, it's just artificial. Like back in the day, if it was silver and copper, that's value, and its value in its weight. Now you're literally trading this stuff, and it's garbage because it's steel, right? Materials it's been debased, right? It's been debased and devalued. And it's hilarious how they have a law against that unless they do it. And unless they deem, okay, we got to clip it. All right, let's clip it with some nickel and steel. Some garbage, man.
So, clip away.
But that's the devil for you, okay?
Hey, my friends, but not so fast. There's another law, and here it is, the Currency Act, which is updated. In other words, our governments, even in the modern era, are keeping up with the times and the debased currency by putting in this prohibition on, quote, melting coins. No person shall, except in accordance with a license granted by the minister, melt down, break up, or use otherwise than as currency any coin that is current and legal tender in Canada. In other words, it is still against the law to clip coins. And there are no exceptions, as you heard in the way I recently read that. Wait a sec, did I read that right? Let me have another look. No person shall, except in accordance with a license granted by the minister. So there is an exception. Of course, the government can clip our coins, but how do they do it? Do they sneak into our houses in the middle of the night with a coin cutter and clip off a piece from the end of your loonie and then make off with it? No, of course not. They're much more sophisticated than that. They reduce the size, or in effect, the value of your coin by simply making more of them. When there's an increase in the supply of anything, the value of it goes down. If there's too many dollars chasing too few goods and services, well, those dollars go down in value and those goods and services go up in price. Is that what's happening now in Canada? Well, look at the numbers. In roughly the last year, the supply of dollars in coins, bills, and accounts has actually gone up by $360 billion. This magical bank controlled by the government is buying the government's debt. That is actually the single biggest source of governmental revenue for the last fiscal year. In fact, the government got more money from the Bank of Canada last year than it got from collecting taxes. So instead of borrowing from real people with real money, the government is simply going to a bank that it controls and getting money created out of thin air. And where is all of this money ending up? Well, corporations and rich people have $170 billion more in their bank accounts as of November of last year, according to the Financial Post. Now, the easy money is also flooded into stock, bond, and real estate markets, where it has ballooned the price of those assets. So if you're very rich and you own those assets, you just got a lot richer. For example, if you're the proud owner of a $10 million mansion and it goes up 30%, which the market did across Canada, well, you've just made $3 million of unearned money simply by sitting in your rocking chair and enjoying that luxurious mansion of yours. But the flip side is this: the price of goods and services that people have to buy is also getting more expensive. For example, the central bank has 4 measures of inflation. Now, 3 of them already show inflation above the 2% target that the bank sets. The costs of the things that poor people tend to have to spend more of their household budgets on are going up especially fast. For example, food, fuel, and shelter are leading the way in this year's inflation. So how does all this inflation clip your coin? Well, think of it this way. If inflation is, say, 4% this year, then a year from now, this coin, this loonie, will only be worth 96 cents compared to what it's worth right now. And if that inflation repeats itself over and over again, you'll be knocking off 4 cents or clipping them off year after year after year. It's like a recurring tax on the same dollar. Think of it in terms of the actual statistics. Food price inflation means that this dollar would actually buy 5 cents less meat a year from now. In terms of gas, for the year gone by, this loonie buys 32 cents less gas, which means you've clipped off 32 cents on the dollar. In terms of real estate, because of the massive increases in home prices, this dollar's value relative to homes is down 24 cents, almost a full quarter is clipped right off. And finally, if you want to renovate your existing home, well, you're losing.
Well, that's the point. He didn't really mention the fact that they literally clipped them, right? When he mentioned that they're not gold and silver anymore, he mentioned that part, but he never mentioned really that they clipped the actual metals, right? As we read, they used to be silver, then copper, then zinc, then nickel, then steel, which he mentioned is steel. But he also mentioned the fact that when you obviously print more money, that you pump it, you inject more money into the economy, right? You're gonna devalue the dollar, which that's the root cause. That's the true cause of inflation, and we're at a point now where you're gonna have hyperinflation. Anyway, I hope you're edified with that. Call Halal Yam La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.